Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Daniel. Happy birthday to you. He made his own birthday cake. Happy birthday, Daniel.
Thank you. Welcome to Shumpert's Hill. You don't see me a whole lot, except for tasting stuff, but today we get the treat of I'm making stuff. So today I'm going to be making a birthday cake for yours truly. So Mama, she's made birthday cakes in the past, and she's offered to make me birthday cake, but I like making stuff too, and I like trying things. So I'm going to be trying something today. I'm going to start off with my icing, and then tomorrow I'll be baking my cake. And then Thursday, I'll be putting it all together. So this is a 3-day ordeal. I know, a lot. But I got white chocolate that I'm going to chop up into smaller pieces, because I'm going to be making what they call a ganache. So I know it's a fancy term, but it's pretty much cream and milk, or cream and chocolate. And I'm doing it with white chocolate. Most people do it with dark chocolate or milk chocolate, but I wanted to try something different with white chocolate. So just chopping it up into good sized pieces, and then I'm gonna go at it again on the opposite direction. I like white chocolate, and so it is very, very tempting to just go ahead and pop one of these in my mouth, but I'm not going to. I'm going to use self-control this time. I'm gonna put it in my bowl. And set that off to the side. Now, that was 13.2 ounces of white chocolate, or 127 grams per bar. I'm going to start bringing some heavy cream, which is in this pot, up to a simmer, and that is 139 grams in there. I've got my stove on my eye on a 6. I've got an electric burner, so if you have gas, I'm sorry, I can't help you. I don't have gas. All I have is electric. You want a medium heat, but I've got mine on a medium heat, so it's like a 6 on my stove, but I don't want it to scorch, so I'm going to go ahead and start stirring it and let it come to a simmer. Once it gets good and up to temperature, then I'm going to put this in there and melt the chocolate. So this is going to take a little bit. We'll be back when I get ready for it. I've got a good, nice little steam coming off of it. I don't know if you can see all that. It's got a nice little steam. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in my bowl. That way it can start melting down that chocolate. Had to be mindful of my viewers because I didn't want to block the view for you. Yeah, it's got a nice little temperature on it. So went ahead and stuck that on my stand mixer with a whisk attachment. I'm gonna go in there and scrape down the sides. We use icing and frosting interchangeably in here. So if you get confused, sorry. I try not to confuse people. Sometimes it happens. It cooled off really fast, so I'm hoping that some of this chocolate will still continue to melt. I'm not entirely sure. So I've got a little bit of a problem. It cooled off faster than I was expecting. So in the pot on the eye, it got warm really fast. In the bowl, it got cold really fast. So what I'm going to do is move it to a microwave safe bowl and warm it up. That way I can try and melt what little bit of chocolate that is still not melted. Sorry, it looks so good. Like that chunk there, try and get it melted a little bit more. That way I won't have any lumps, because nobody likes lumps in their frosting or icing or whatever term you use. Man, this smells good. I'm gonna nuke it for about 30 seconds. Actually about 15 first, and see what it does. Then if it's not melted all the way, then I'll do it again for another 15 until I get a nice smooth consistency. See that see, there's still some lumps in there that I don't want. If you want a good arm workout, there you go. I think that's good for tonight. Don't you? So now I'm going to get some plastic wrap and stick it over the top. That way it doesn't get a skin on it. There we go. Then don't you just love cling wrap? Had a big bubble in the middle. Had a big bubble in the middle. I had to get rid of it. Okay, now I'm gonna go put this outside the refrigerator outside, and be good. See you tomorrow. Day 2. So I've got all my ingredients ready for my cake. My cake comes from Recipe 10 Eats. That's the name of it there, the website. I believe this is the cake that I've tried before. It was really good. Me and Mama had half of it, and I sent the other half to the other part of the family that's here, Andrew and Leah and their kid. All right, so I've got 3 8-inch pans already greased and lined with parchment paper. I've got all my ingredients over here. So that includes 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Cake flour will work fine. 4 large eggs, 1.5 cups of sugar. They say use castor sugar. I don't have castor sugar. I just have regular store-bought off the regular shelf sugar. Half a stick of butter, 1 cup of milk, 3 teaspoons of oil in the milk, 3 teaspoons of vanilla in the milk. Then I have 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt in here. So I put my baking powder and salt together. Most of the time when you see somebody do a cake, what's the first thing that they put in there? Sugar. I'm not doing that. I grew up doing sugar and butter together. but I've also done a lot of research online on cakes. And to do a fluffy cake, you actually put your flour in first. So I got my 2 cups of all-purpose flour going into the mixing bowl. Then I'm going to take my butter and put it in there with the flour. Now, you're probably thinking, Daniel, you're doing this all wrong. Nope, I'm not. What this actually does, there's some science behind this. When you actually put your flour in, it actually creates gluten. And gluten in cake is not good. Gluten in bread, wonderful. Gluten in cake, no. So that's why I've added the butter, because the butter actually causes the gluten not to form. So I'm just going to go ahead and mix this all together. So I'm going to turn this on with my flour and my butter together. That way it won't create a gluten strand in there, what you would get in bread. Gluten in cake, bad. That'd be good. So my flour has gotten really crumbly. That is fine. That is perfectly fine. What that butter is doing is coating the flour to where it won't allow it to create those gluten strands. So that's exactly what I wanted. So now I'm going to go ahead and add my sugar in there. And my salt and baking powder. Get that all mixed together. Now I'm going to change my paddle to the whisk. I got some whiskey business right now. I got my camera lady laughing at me. So I just want to try and get all this goodness off that I can. Now I'm going to stir up my milk and oil. And add it in there. I like to make sure I get every last drop. So my milk, oil, and vanilla are all in there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it on high and add my eggs one at a time. I've got 4 eggs going in there. So all 4 eggs are going to go in. One at a time. It didn't want to be by itself. Oops. I got them in there. I'm not done with it because I've got to let this beat. It's got to beat it. But I just want to scrape down. Make sure I get the bottom. Make sure I get the sides. All right. I'll see y'all in a little bit. So the cake now looks quite nice and airy and fluffy. I don't want to dry and do too much in it. I don't want to get all the air bubbles out, because air bubbles is where you have your fluffiness. Of course, life is short. You got to have a little taste sometimes. That's good. I could take better right there. All right. So now, on to one. Two. And three. So, unfortunately, y'all, I am right-handed, and my camera is on my left-hand side. Movie magic. You've been turned around. Now you're on my right side. Want to try and get them as even as possible. Now I'm going to put them into the oven for 30 minutes or until golden brown. I think I was only supposed to use two cake pans, but I am what I am. I didn't follow the recipe the full way through how they said to do it in order. I am who I am. Gonna go on the top rack. Don't burn yourself. Timer on. See you in 30 minutes or whenever it's finished. They had a toothpick come out, all of them. All of them came out clean. So they look quite nice, if I do say so myself. So now I'm going to turn them out. I'm just going to turn them out onto a plate, and then the other two I'll turn them out onto saran wrap or plastic wrap, whatever you call it, and then stick it in the microwave. That way I can let it sit in there tomorrow, and then I'll get the frosting made and finished up tomorrow. Smells so good. So this is my white chocolate ganache. It's quite stiff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it into here and whip it.
It's been bad.
Yes. Yes, it has. Because like that, it's not going to spread. So I've got my chocolate ganache in the mixing bowl. So what I'm going to do now is, so I let it beat until it was nice and soft. It was several minutes. It was hard to get out, but now it's almost like the consistency of buttercream. But there's only heavy whipping cream and chocolate. So it's going to act like untempered chocolate, which melts really, really easily. So that's not going in the sink. The camera lady says she's getting it. There might be a fight on her hands. So if there's no videos next week, well, you know why. Hi. It's a birthday cake, okay? It's got to have some color about it.
So I'm going to tell this little story on Daniel. We used to go to the steakhouse when they were little, and you know, the buffet at Ryan's, and when it would come to dessert time, Daniel, great day. He would literally, instead of getting anything else, he would get a bowl and get sprinkles all in it. And that's what he would sit and eat. So, yeah, that would be his favorite.
And I can still eat sprinkles by the spoonful.
Yeah. I buy 2 of them when I go to the store. And one's for him and one's for the grandkids. And the grandkids get very little because Daniel gets into both of them because he loves them.
She has to hide them, otherwise they're gonna go missing. Strangely.
That's pretty though. Ain't no strange about it. It's Daniel.
I am who I am.
So tomorrow is your birthday, right?
Yep. Tomorrow's my birthday.
How old will you be?
Old. 31.
Yeah, 31's just a baby, y'all.
So.
All right, there's this good-looking cake.
So we'll be back tomorrow for a cross section.
Today is Daniel's big day. He is 31 today. And this is his cake, so he's going to show y'all. He's going to cut the first piece and show y'all what it looks like. Is it hard to cut?
Oh, it's
dense.
That icing has hardened.
Looks like it's so hard. I hope it don't break my plate. Got a bug around here wanting to fly around. Woo! Oh my goodness, y'all. That looks really pretty. Really pretty. Now, I don't want a piece that big. But look at that. That's really pretty.